Choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life. A quote from Confucius.
To our thesis advisor, Mr. Jerome Rebedizo.
To the panelists, Dr. Susan Pineda, Dr. Annalyn Decena, and Mrs. Margiselin Quesada. A pleasant day to everyone. We are here today to present to you our research proposal entitled Career Preferences of the Humanities and Social Sciences UMS Trans Students of Marinduque State College.
But before we start, we would like to introduce ourselves.
I am Zelwin Jet and Rosero, 18 years old, and I do believe that the great aim of education is not knowledge, but action.
And I am Angelica May Pudaka, 18 years old, and I believe the education of human mind starts with a cradle.
Again, this research study is entitled Career Preferences of Humanities and Social Sciences UMS Trans Students of Marinduque State College. Objectives. The researcher chose this topic because they are graduating students and are now in the point of planning what career are they going to take. Still, some of them are undecided what course is suitable for them. The researcher indeed chose this topic because they want to know what are the career preferences of UMS students and to think what are they going to take in college.
Statement of the problem. This study aimed to determine the preferences of senior high school UMS students in choosing a career. Specifically, it sought to answer the following sub-problems. 1. What are the demographic characteristics of the senior high school UMS students in terms of sex, age, and economic status? 2. How do senior high school UMS students choose their preferred career? 3. What are the career preferences of the grade 12 UMS students?
Methodology. Once the researcher have decided what design their research is going to be based on, it is imperative that they'll continue following the systematic procedure and start working data gathering process. The researcher will present a letter of approval to the advisor of Senior High School Humanities and Social Sciences UMS Strand to ask permission to conduct a study outside the school premises through online survey. Before starting the data gathering procedure, the researcher toolmate will be subjected for validity and reliability tests to ensure that the quality of data that will be gathered from the respondents is accurate.
Before administering the tool, the respondents will be oriented about the questionnaire that they will answer and will be informed about the purpose of this study. The researcher will also emphasize that their identity and privacy will be ensured and their answers to the questionnaire will be confidential to others. After the data has been collected, it will be presented, analyzed, and interpreted.
And now, let's move on to the presentation of data. In this slide, the information and data gathered after the interviews are presented. The results and findings of the study are all presented in a tabular form. The data will be composed demographic profile of the respondents and the questions that is in accordance with the objectives of the study. Out of 24 enrolled grade 12 Humanities and Social Sciences students in Marinduque State College, there are only 22 students who were willingly participated in the study. They were given checklists to answer as many responses as it applies to them, particularly in their interests, hobbies, talents, problems and difficulties encountered in making career choices, as well as the preferences they perceive to be hindrance in their undecidability to making career choices. Table 1.1 shows the distribution of sex. There are 4 males and 18 females. It indicates that there are great number of females enrollees than male enrollees for the school year 2021 to 2022. Thus, it was shown that most of the respondents were female with 90%, while male had 10% of the population.
Table 1.2 shows the age of the respondents. There is only one of the respondents whose ages bracket fall in 16 years old. Meanwhile, there are 9 respondents whose ages fall in 18 years old. Likewise, ages that fall in 18 years old had 12 respondents. It further indicates that majority of grade 12 students are accurate from their year level. Thus, the most respondents were aged 18 with 50%, followed by the respondent who were 17 years old that had 45%, and only 5% of the respondents fall in the age of 17 years old next to it.
Table 1.3 presents the demographic profile of the grade 12 respondents from Marinduque State College according to their economic status. This includes monthly family income and number of siblings. In monthly family income of grade 12 students were based from the combined salary of both parents. 17 of them belong to family income bracket of 10,000 pesos. 2 whose family income is 20,000 pesos. Only 1 is earning around 30,000 pesos. 1 has a family income of 40,000 pesos. Meanwhile, there is a family income bracket that only one of the total responses that earns around 50,000 pesos in a row. Thus, it's shown that the most of the respondents, according to their family income, earned 10,000 pesos and has 75% of the population. Likewise, respondents who earned family income 20,000 pesos had 10% as the second to the most earned monthly family income. On the other hand, family income bracket that fall between 30,000 to 50,000 had the total combined percentage of 15% of the population, 5% each.
The result also showed the respondents' number of siblings. Out of 22 grade 12 UM students, 2 of them have only 1 sibling. Then 2 siblings also got 2 students, followed by 3 siblings with 7 respondents. Meanwhile, 4 of the grade 12 UM students have 4 number of siblings. 6 of them have 5 siblings and only 1 student have 6 siblings as the total responses. Thus, we have seen that the most of the respondents had 3 siblings in their homes with 30% of population. Next to it had 25% which have 5 siblings and followed by 4 siblings that had 20% of respondents. Furthermore, respondents having 1 and 2 siblings had both 10% of the respondents and only 5% of students have 6 siblings.
Table 1.4 shows the talents, interests, and hobbies of grade 12 UM students. They were given chances to give as many talents, interests, and hobbies as they have. In the list, combinations of writing, drawing, and reading is the most likely the interest of the grade 12 UM students. Writing a poetry, creating a story, and even drawing and reading. Second to the most respondents likely to do is to watch. Grade 12 UM students also love watching television, watching K-drama online, as well as watching Netflix and chill. Next to it is to play online and offline. Some of them likes to play COD online. Nowadays, students are observed glued with their smartphones during class hours because they are playing online games.
It further connotes that their frequent hobby on playing online games might affect their academic performance and their preferences in career choice because it consumes time, money, and effort. Meanwhile, 2 of them like to play outdoor. They used to play volleyball and badminton, and for some instance, one of the respondents loved to ride a bike. Furthermore, some common talent of the younger generation is dancing, especially that nowadays. There are great applications like TikTok for entertainment during such events that everybody can showcase their interest in dancing and might affect their career preferences as accurate in their profession in the future. Apparently, there are some respondents who did not specify their talents, interests, and hobbies for unknown reason.
Table 2.1 shows the respondents' opinion towards the difficulty of making career decisions. With regards to the question, do you find it difficult to make career decisions as a senior high school UM students? Most of the respondents say yes and got 19 total votes, while some of them say no with a frequency of 3. Thus, students who say yes and find it difficult when making career decision had 86% of the respondents. Meanwhile, students who said no don't find it difficult in making career decisions at all had 14% as the total responses of the population.
Table 2.2 shows the problems encountered by grade 12 UM students in deciding what career to choose after their completion in senior high school. Most of the responses unanimously fall on the confusion of what course to take when they go to tertiary education with 10 responses. They don't have a clear vision of what's going to be their future career and are still confused with what course to take. Though maybe all of them took National Career Assessment Examination or INCAI during their grade 9. According to the result of this study, they are still confused of what career path to take. Probably, it can be lack of the mind conditioning or preparation that they did not seriously answering the exam or rushing to finish to take the exam and now affects their decision on their career choice. Thus, the students' undecidability on what career to choose is the most problem faced by the grade 12 UMS students.
Among the problems encountered by grade 12 UM students are the parents' decision towards them with 7 responses. There is a conflict with what they want for themselves and what their parents want for them. In the Philippine context, parents are there to guide and guard what is best for their children. Conditionally, children have always the tendency to rely on their parents' decision, whoever is more influential, either their father or mother, or it can be both.
Third in the row are both respondents' personal thoughts. These two includes that they have a chosen career but it's difficult seeing themselves enjoying in that profession. And they have second thoughts that maybe they might change their career preferences. They might just regret it later and shift to another job. These difficulties had both 5 responses as the total of population. This is congruent with their first problem that they are confused of what course to take in college. Rationally, if they could not make decision because they do not know what course to take, it would be very difficult for them to see themselves enjoying their future career and change their career preferences right away.
The fourth problem encountered by the senior high school UM students in choosing a career path are financial insufficiency together with the peer influence. Among the students, 3 of them thought that the course they would take may not be enough to survive for their everyday living. Some of them may even thought that further studies would even make them financially drained and the solution is to land a job instead of continuing higher education. Meanwhile, they consider it a problem of being away from their friends if they take a different course, garnering of 3 of the total responses. While it is true that high school life is the most memorable years if they earn 6 years of residency in the school, it is hard to break the knots of friendship that connects their common interests, goals, and shared experiences. Hence, the option is to take similar course with the friends in order to feel acceptance and belongingness.
Lastly, they consider it a problem for they don't have a choice but to follow in the general direction of their bloodline and older siblings. No matter what jobs they have which had 2 respondents at all, this is also congruent with their second problem in which parents make decision for them. They feel so helpless or probably have the feeling of powerlessness over their own career path to take because they think that they are still young to make decisions for themselves and they are not used to make major decisions in life but to follow the footsteps of their parents or their bloodline.
Generally speaking, the problems encountered by the grade 12 UM students were the undecidability and the confusion of what course to take in college. Thus, it has the highest frequency of 10 among the difficulties faced by the senior high school students on choosing career path. Table 2.3 shows the senior high school UM students' career preferences. Career choice constitute one of the most critical turning points in our lives because this choice determines our future role in the society and symbolizes one of the most important processes in our entire life. As UM students, the majority of the respondents would like to take education in the college. Among the career mentioned above, education has the highest frequency of 9.
Hence, second to the most selected career were lawyer and had 7 of the respondents. In connection to this, both communication and criminology had 5 each of the responses, followed by students most likely to take journalism in college had a frequency of 4. Fifth, a career like related to social studies had only 3 of the respondents. Meanwhile, there is none of the grade 12 UM students of Marinduque State College, particularly in Santa Cruz branch at this batch, would be taking architecture. On the other hand, for some reason, some of the respondents' career preference are business ad, marine, transpo, psychologist, as well as counselor and psychiatrist.
Conclusions. The students provided information are valid and reliable based on the categorized information, coded and interpreted. The senior high school students' choice of career, although mostly a personal choice, it is not free from any influence. Their choices, personal or advice or coerced, are affected by multiple considerations. Therefore, students are motivated in making decisions. Female outnumbered males whose age bracket fall in 18 years of age. The majority of the family income bracket of 10,000 pesos with an average of 3 siblings. When it comes to talents, interests, and hobbies, most of the respondents love the combination of writing, drawing, and reading.
The following problems confronted by senior high school young students in deciding what career path to choose after the completion in senior high school were ranked accordingly. 1. I don't have a clear vision of what's going to be my future career and I'm still confused with what course to take. 2. There is a conflict with what I want for myself and what my parents want for me. 3. I have chosen career but it's difficult seeing myself enjoying in that profession. I have thoughts that I might just regret later and just shift to another job. 4. My family income is not sufficient. My friends will take a different course. Lastly, I have no choice but to follow in the general direction of my bloodline and older siblings, no matter what jobs they have. The following career preferences by grade 12 UM students were ranked consequently: 1. Education, 2. Lawyer, 3. Communication and Criminology, 4. Journalism, 5. Social Studies, and 6. Architecture.
Based on the findings of this study, the following recommendations were made. 1. Significant career influencers such as friends, parents, members of community, and media personnel need to be equipped with the correct career information for them to guide students appropriately. 2. Career counselors should provide students with experiences that expand the exploration process and wide range of career information on all the available careers so that they can explore widely before making their choices. In this case, after initial career decisions have been made, Career counselors can continue to encourage successful career development by identifying sources of psychosocial support available to students. 3. There is need to revamp the career guidance program in school, especially where there is a significant lack of career information.
4. The grade 12 students must be given a career talk by other institutions to provide them proper overview of the career status of the employees based on the labor market demand. This must be given before they enter grade 11 in order to avoid shifting of track during grade 12. 5. The senior high school students should focus in either needs or wants in the means of choosing a career as another study to investigate. 6. Future researchers may also conduct similar study towards the behavior and interests that affect senior high school students in choosing a career.
Thank you for listening on our virtual presentation entitled Career Preferences of the Humanities and Social Sciences, UM Strand of Marinduque State College. And the room is now open for the questions, suggestions, and recommendations. That will be all. Thank you.